Hello everyone, Natred here again for another Natred review. I'm back with my co-host Laundry Basket and DJ Old Monitor, and you might hear my roommate's cat in the background because he's a sweet boy and he wants love. I got him locked out of my room. So we're going to be doing another first to 10 review. This one I believe is going to be this is going to be Belagarth. You can tell by the padding here on these half bats. That's not Amtgard legal. And this comes from a YouTube channel, Zaphyrus Talon. I've actually met Talon before. He's not in this video. I believe he's recording. And just quick story time about Talon, because I'm going to review some tape on him soon. I met Talon at a small BEL event called Battle for the Ozarks a few years back, and I was kind of trying to place myself in my fighting skill. So I was fighting all comers, open gear choice from the time I got up until sundown. And I believe there were 4 people that beat me in a best of 3, best of 5. Can't remember the exact format we did. And Talon was one. I believe it was either forearm shield or back shield and red, and did really well. And like 4 guys beat me, and like 3 of them were from Talon's same neck of the woods. So these guys are from. Oh, I just had it pulled up a second ago. This park is in Nashville, Tennessee. And him and the 2 other guys from his unit that were there at this event were 3 out of the 4 guys that beat me in this little challenge I did. And so I really wish I had the chance to go visit these people and fight them a whole lot, because they seem pretty solid across. They seem rock solid across the board. So I don't know either of these fighters, and honestly, these are some of my favorite kind of fights to review so far, where I have 0 context on either of them. I already adjusted my audio. Let's take a look here. Okay, lands that last shot there. Quick gear checks. It's looking like we have a strapped kind of teardrop from our fighter in the red here. We have Dymphna and Scrath. I have no idea who is who. And we have a flow fighter. This is exactly my same flow setup. I really enjoy this weapon setup. Yeah, it looks like our board fighter's bat comes down here and tags the rear leg. Or that looks like the front leg, actually, of our flow fighter. Yeah, this comes in, tags the front leg. Our flow fighter goes down, but as he goes down, gets this lunge in. That might have been tradesies.
Is that Samo or what?
Yeah, I was going to say. Turn this down a little bit more. So something I notice here that I really like. I don't do this very often because I'm a big fat dude, but this level change here. So I think this is too low. It's especially too low, I feel like, for how close the feet are together here. But this nice presentation with the shoulders being pretty high. I mean, could be higher, could be perfectly vertical, but a lot of people have a bad habit of when they want to level change, they lean down and they present their back to be hit. You want to really, like, if you're going to, it's hard to do. Okay. So if you don't want to level change that way. You want to level change like this. You want to make sure you keep your torso as vertical as you can, because you don't want to invite getting hit in the back. So like this movement. Also, just notice we have a lefty shield here. It's not going to change the dynamic too much.
Samo again.
Another trade. So notes for the lefty fighter, or notes for our flow fighter here. So first of all, very caved guard. Look how far back this backhand is. And even, like, okay, so right here, this is good extension. I'd argue that his hands are too low, but it's good extension. We get into the exchange, we get into this grind range, all of a sudden, our hands are sucking into our chest defensively, when really, ideally, we need to be out there interdicting shots. Okay, couple more things here. So hard to pull off. One of the best things I've ever got taught about flow fighting: left hand guards left, right hand guards right, left hand attacks left, right hand attacks right 90% of the time. And so what I don't like here, see how caved this guard is? So we have, like, we're going to go through some things I don't like here, but we see some good instincts, kind of. This backhand against his chest tries to come forward a little bit and block this arm, but like if you're extending as flow, I feel you want to get into the habit of having your other hand naturally kind of follow halfway just to give some passive like blocking surface in that area. Big shot under. You don't want to do this as a shield fighter. You don't ever want to commit it to a shot this hard when you're fighting against flow because you don't want to get trapped with your guard down. And also, I have mixed feelings about the positioning of this shield. If you're going to go for a shot this far, you might want to drag your shield a little bit, but I'm not going to stress about this little gap here. If this shield was like back behind the elbow or up like with the hand, then I may want to have adjustments. This is like a 2 to 3 inch adjustment. That's not that big of a deal. And then this is what originally triggered this whole rant. I cannot express to you enough, in the videos I've been watching, people seem to die so often when they go for some big movement like this that throws them out of position, and then it starts a chain of events that leads to their death. You kind of have to go back a few steps. So just kind of like, we're going to watch this fight again in a second, I promise. But imagine this hand is super low, so she swings in for this shoulder, which leads to the sudden huge panic reaction of this arm shooting way back up to catch this block. Oh no, it was a fake. Come under and kill him. Like, it's easy to look back and see where, on video, deaths happen. Yeah, this arm gets trapped completely under the other elbow. And now it's just doing nothing, defensively or offensively. Picks the arm here. Hits shield. Very fortunate to pick up the trade there with the flails. The flailing. By the way, big props for calling green here. Just a good habit to be in. I don't do that, and I really probably should, but just a good habit to be in. Call your damage. Don't call your shots, but clear up the damage. So we have some pretty conservative shield work by our shield fighter here that I really enjoy. Shields having it's a little bit of movement, a little bit too much movement right there in a couple seconds, but pretty good, making sure at the presentation the shield stays presented forwards, and we lose the double leg. Yeah. Or hits the chest right there, yeah. Yeah.
One Dymphna.
Yeah. Dymphna. So this is going to be Dymphna in the hat. And Scrath with the 2-stick. Okay, classic 2-sticky setup from Scrath here. The tick-tock. Try to draw your shield over, swing in. So this is a good kind of opener, except I don't like how this right hand makes contact and then just kind of like dithers in this neutral position. I would like it if like we make this contact and then this is about as far as the hand recoils, and then from here the motion is mostly bringing your hand back up to bring the tip of your weapon back up. Doesn't get the shield drawn over. Manages to catch a block here, but like way outside to the side. Again, having this really caved Tyrannosaurus Rex arms guard is going to mean you have to do things like this when you fight flow, just because of the amount of angle people are going to be able to get on you if your guard is this close and you passively let them get close to you. If you have both your sharp pointy ends a little bit more extended out, I'm full locked here, but like, you know, a little bit like 3/4 extension, they have some passive resistance they have to cross to get to you. And also, your movements are going to be a lot more minuscule. You're going to have to adjust for things like making sure you're not getting wrapped to the top of the forearms and such, but it keeps you from being in these situations where your guard is so far retracted that even after sticking a or getting close, like this isn't even a block actually. I thought we were coming outside and caught this block here, but no, this actually just misses completely. So imagine watch Flow Fighter's left hand. We get this contact, probably can stop recoiling there. The only reason that we're recoiling back this far from a shot with a foam sword is because we committed either too much of our strength to it, and so now we're dealing with too much recoil, or we're having noodle arms, and we're not controlling this recoil enough. I like to try to keep my arm tensed throughout the entirety of a strike, even the recovery, even the bounce back, and that I believe helps keep stuff like this from happening. Talking about like going back a second in a fight, a half second in a fight, and seeing what really got you killed. This right hand is not in position to come over and defend, while this left hand also goes way out of bounds and opens up the hip.
2 Dymphna.
Almost gets the leg there twice.
2-1 Dymphna.
Hard to see there behind the shield. Looks like it may come in and hit the breast there, or maybe just hit the leg and got hit in the side there.
2-1 Dymphna.
Little bit of excessive shield movement coming out of the board fighter now, getting him in trouble. See, even this, like our flow fighter has a pretty good instinct here to move his guard to the left and kind of like square up to block. Oop, right there. Shield fighter kind of comes forward and level change. Oh, got to make sure they don't throw that like opener to my stomach. And so fine, but why is this guard back here when it could be out here? Now let's watch our flow fighter's right hand. Goes over and just stays down there. Isn't even like this isn't trying to like threaten the reverse wrap or anything to come back over. This is just almost looks like arm is forgotten until right now. And yeah.
3-1 Dymphna.
I talk a lot about just like finding your good passive guard and trying to snap back into it. I feel like it's one of the things that would help here a lot. Classic Twin Heavens. We call that's what we call this here in Tulsa. The Twin Heavens. This is fine. We have a decent, like I always tell people when it comes to shield fighting, you almost will never get punished for just taking a step back. Like, oh no, something crazy is happening. Here comes this guy. He's really committing to a shot. And stepping back will usually get you out of trouble. Ideally here, and what I learned to start doing against people who would do this against me, is sticking that punch block and returning immediately for an arm or a chest. We have a bigger shield here, so we're kind of leaning, we're literally leaning and also metaphorically leaning on the shield a little bit here. And we have some good movement. But this hand is up nice and high to counterstrike. You definitely want to be able to counterstrike with flow fighters. You don't need to be chambered this high. You can have your hand down in a good normal guard position. And as always, I try to like make sure I can spot what triggers movement. Yeah, so we have, this is just a general cock back to like respond. Like you are doing something and my programming is telling me to get ready to hammer strike back. Get ready to throw real fast back. You can generate great power from here, just right in your neutral guard zone. All this back here is for driving nails, not nerds. All this motion is not really necessary with a foam sword. And then, yeah, you're in position to just swing back immediately for an arm or a chest. Now it's danger zone. Stab him! Stab him! Stab him! Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, okay. I thought... Damn it! I really thought our board fighter just picked this up. I was like, what is Flow Guy doing? And again, look at how noodly this is. And again, if Flow Fighter, if Scrat or Dymphna, if you guys ever watch this, I'm really trying not to be hypercritical or mean. I suck shit too. I'm not saying you guys do, but I'm definitely nowhere near the best fighter. I'm just trying to point out things that I've seen and note things that have worked for me. And just look at the lack of intent with this left hand after it swings. Okay, watch the left hand. Swing. Nothing, 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 nothing. Like, good thing you got that shot, because if
3-2
you
Dymphna.
didn't, then, like, Dymphna is just gonna stroke you. I keep glancing over here, because this is where I have my recording monitor at, so I can see myself.
4-2.
Yep, right there. Good example of why you don't want this caved guard. What else is there to say? Just watch this. Cave. Create this A-frame slot. Still resetting caved. Yep. Yep.
4-2 Dymphna.
Just gear projection. Gear projection will shut that down. Okay, so we had some good. This is a good single blue bout by our Flow Fighter. Little fake with the right hand, throws with the left. Right hand does not. Okay, good. Okay, picks up the block with the right hand there. Okay, so I still didn't really like
4-3 Dymphna.
what our Flow Fighter was doing with his hands, but at least he was able to stick a block there and pick up the good kill. Let's diagram or analyze this one out. Classic initiation shot. Again with the caved guard, you want to be projected out, covering this forearm. Again with Dymphna. Now we're starting to really notice some trends. Hand super high, super chain to respond, when you could be in a medium guard, medium height guard, punch blocking this and beginning the exchange. Dymphna swings under, gets stuffed by the right hand block. Flow Fighter's right hand just goes to sleep. Kind of comes up there like it's going to respond to block, doesn't get anything. And it looks like a trade there, hip for hip. Yeah, it's like the exchange started off pretty intentional, and then as it went on, the slops got slopser and slopser, sloppier and sloppier.
5-3.
Yeah, and so yeah, we're just really able to identify some problematic trends now. Right hand's just not paying attention. Yeah. I wonder if Scrath here is naturally left-handed also. Oh, I'm sorry. I said earlier that our board fighter is definitely right-handed. I wonder if Scrat here is naturally left-handed.
Yes.
Okay. I like leading with leg shots against Flow Fighters pretty often. You want to be able to control the mobility of the fight a whole lot. And it's just a pretty open shot on a lot of Flow Fighters, if you're able to throw it nice and tight without overexposing.
6-3 Dymphna.
So just kind of talking about being a Flow Fighter on the ground here, just general statements. I think you definitely want to be able to maximize having two swords here. If you're trying to use your sword as an underpowered shield while exchanging single blue style, you're going to probably lose to most board fighters. You want to really maximize being able to fake their shield out of the way and then kill them.
Put them over there with our stuff.
Okay, and you see this happen a lot with board fighters, where the exchange starts,
Put them over there.
and the footwork will go kind of dead, especially against flow fighters. Like, we finally kind of kick back on there at the end as a board fighter. Our feet finally start moving again.
6-4 Dymphna.
But you have to be really active with your feet. I shouldn't say really active. As active you are in your footwork against a, like, other board fighter as a board fighter, you need to be probably 50 to 75% more active against things like flow and red. You're going to really want to dictate the pacing and the motion of the fight as much as you can.
7-4.
The old double leg. 1, 2, yep. Yeah, and I find that kind of specific leg
7-4
shot that
Dymphna.
Dymphna just threw to be one of the better ones against lefties. They almost never see it coming, and even if they do, it's hard for them to get strong blocks on. They're usually going to block it with footwork and try to punish you by hitting you in the forearm. If you can get to the point where you can throw a nice safe leg shot against lefties and leg them as your starting move a lot of the time, your win percentages are going to go way up. And also, I've talked on previous videos about the idea of throwing shots behind your shield, but also above your shield arm. Great, stupid way to hit lefties in the leg. Just come all the way over and down.
Is that a Simo or... Is that a Simo or her win? What was that? What was that?
Let's go ahead and just keep moving on here.
We're here to give accurate scores, not a question. Scores,
Have a little
not
slip out there.
question.
We take a leg here. This looks like it might kind of be body.
We're here to give accurate scores, not a question.
Kind of went down bad there on the leg.
9-4 Dymphna. He fought me instead. 9-5 Dymphna.
You know, again, this is another same wisdom here, in my opinion. Fighting against a leg shieldman as a flow fighter versus also being a flow fighter against a standing shieldman. You really want to use this right stick here to get something to happen, make some movement happen, make some engagement happen, and we see that here. Yeah. And even manages to tie up this shield enough to land a nice wrap. Yep. Straight to the hip pocket. Good to see it. You can tell by the length of this video, though, this thing should have started earlier. We should see Dymphna's.
Oh, he might have asked afterwards to fight both of you.
Sorry.
Yeah. And so just kind of like talking about trends still, the weirdness and lack of or excessive movement of this right arm is what gets our fighter killed, gets our flow fighter killed here in this final exchange. Gets a block with the right hand comes to nuts, comes to offside hip, comes back over, cocks back, does nothing. It's just kind of like noodling there after the initial bit of contact. So that's it. I'm sorry about the length of this video. I found a lot to talk about, and if you like it, check out the playlist. I got a bunch of stuff on there.